One thing I realize about bears is that they are probably one of the single most misunderstood large animals left on the planet. stare into the eyes of a bear, it changes your life forever.
My whole life. Most people know him as Les Kinnear, but I've known him as Dad. And he and I grew up hunting and fishing together, and he even became a hunting guide here in the state of Alaska. Over the times if I wasn't hunting with him, I'd be hearing about his stories, about his activities, and bear stories became more and more prevalent over time. He would have nicknames, he would tell us about where they were, behaviors that he'd seen, and it was really obvious to see that he'd fallen in love with the bears. But as we all know, bears don't necessarily stay in the woods where they belong, and an inexperienced bear or a mom trying to provide for her cubs may be drawn into a town with human-provided attractions. Once they get started, they learn that it's a really easy source of food, finding mismanaged trash, pet foods that are left out, wildlife feeders, and fishing scraps. You know, all those things can draw bears into town. And unfortunately for the bear, these human-bear conflict situations oftentimes result in fatalities for the bears. They either ingest toxic or dangerous materials, they get struck by cars, or even shot. And cubs are not immune, they're also involved. For Les, there had to be a better way. He decided that he couldn't hunt them anymore, and he needed to do something to pay those bears back for providing a living for him and his family. And he learned that the state of Alaska does not have a rehab and release policy for bears. Once a bear comes into captivity, they're going to stay for the remainder of their life. The idea began to form a Fortress of the Bear, a safe place for bears to go. And in 2003, Fortress of the Bear became an official nonprofit organization, and that same year they began repurposing the old pulp mill site here in Sitka to be habitats for the bears. We had a several-year process to gain the first permit, which we received in 2007, and shortly afterwards, within days, the first cub arrived. We've grown since then, and we continue to push forward, and we strive to be ready if and when the state of Alaska changes its bear release policy.
As a true sanctuary, we're really grateful to have the opportunity to rescue some of Alaska's orphaned bear cubs in need and provide them with high quality care and a forever home. When they first arrive here as cubs, they're extremely stressed out. They've been through so much, including the trauma of losing their mother. So a big part of our team's initial role is developing trust and building up bonds with the bears, all through safe social interaction and healthy nutrition, all things to set them up for success as they move into living in human care. Our bears' diets vary seasonally, mimicking the types and amounts of food that they'd be receiving in the wild. So it's lighter in the spring and then develops in variety and amount and caloric value over the course of the seasons. We're really lucky to work with some incredible grocery stores here in town that donate all of their outdates as part of a zero waste initiative, providing all kinds of interesting foods and different varieties for the bears to enjoy throughout the year. Now, the bears' diets are controlled and recorded, so it's really important that they don't receive anything extra. Training is a way that we monitor the bears' physical and mental health. They're really intelligent animals, so it's so fun to train with them and teach them all kinds of different things that aid with safe and smooth veterinary care. Training is also how our bear care team maintains bonds with the bears, so to ensure that they continue to contribute to their medical care, and in the event of emergency, we always want them to be listening to and working with their keepers, so we ask guests not to try to interact with them and train them. Enrichment is another valuable tool that we use here to enhance the bear's quality of life. So by providing items, toys, and environmental changes that encourage species-appropriate behaviors. For example, hiding foods around the habitat or spraying different smells can encourage all kinds of foraging behaviors. And stocking the pools with live salmon during the wild salmon run here gives the bears an opportunity to hunt, catch, and kill their own prey, just like their wild counterparts. This private salmon run also helps the bears gain a substantial amount of weight prior to a 3 to 5 month hibernation that they can undergo here at the sanctuary while we're closed over the winter. Due to the current lack of rehab and release program available for bears in Alaska, our bears all would have been euthanized as cubs if we weren't able to offer them forever homes. While they're in our care, the bears here become true ambassadors for their species, educating every guest about bear behavior and biology, and they also assist us in reducing bear-human conflict through bear-proof trash can testing and all kinds of demonstrations. On behalf of the entire team at Fortress of the Bear, we'd like to thank you for your support and hope that you enjoy our bears as much as we do.